Happy lunch hour, gang. Maybe. Failure. We've all experienced it, okay? We've all seen it. It happens to all of us. How many of you guys been to the grocery store in the last 3 years? Everybody, okay? Don't have to go in and tell you that prices in the grocery store on average are up about 40% since 2021, okay? We know it's going to get worse. Most of us, including normies, okay, not the people on this channel, have realized, hey, stuff's getting more expensive. I need to figure out how to change my budget. And whether that meant from dropping from Trader Joe's to Kroger to Aldi to the dollar store to the food bank, somehow, some way, people have got to eat. And a lot of us have decided, a lot of them, I guess most of us have already done this for a while, growing our own takes a little bit of the pain away. Until you have failure. Now, I'm going to avoid politics for the most part here, notwithstanding the fact that Kimberly Cheadle resigned about an hour ago. But it ain't going to get any better at the grocery store, at least in the near term, especially if the cackling hen winds up cheating her way to the White House. You know, you got to remember, her economic plan is Joe Biden's on steroids. She wants to raise the income tax, not only for the rich, but for everybody. She wants to raise the corporate tax, you know, nothing much, just from 21% to 35%, which of course means that companies have two choices. They either lay off workers, which means you're out of a job, even if you're down the chain here. You know, you're a truck driver, you work in a warehouse, you work in a retail store, whatever, somehow you're going to lose your job, or prices are going up. So we all come up with an idea on how to cut our budget a little bit, growing our own food, right? Now, how many of you are eating food that you canned, grew, stored, whatever, last year? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because that's what you can afford right now, included. I still get a little bit of pleasure when I go into the freezer and I pull out a pack of chicken that I bought a year ago or so, and it was 69 cents a pound, and I'll go to the store now and I see the same thing for $2.19 a pound. Okay. Or when I open up a can of pick something, beans or tomatoes or something to make a meal with and go, glad I grew this. Now, failure. How's your crops doing this year? I had a kick in the gonads this morning. 2 days ago, Sunday afternoon, I went out in my yard and looked at my fruit trees. I probably still had 300 or so peaches on my peach tree. Now, fortunately, Mrs. P and I had harvested a bunch of peaches, already made a couple dozen jars of peach jam, juiced a bunch of them, got about 3 quarts of peach juice that I'll make peach wine out of. I went out this morning. There's not a single freaking peach on that tree. None. 2 days ago, there were 300 plus, easy. It was loaded. And I was just waiting for them to finish ripening. Gone. Was it neighbors? No, they didn't steal my peaches. I mean, the tree's 30 feet high. Nobody's getting out there with a ladder. We had a storm come through yesterday. Could that have knocked all the peaches off the ground? Or off the tree onto the ground? Possibly. If so, then the deer had a field day last night, because there's no peaches on the ground. None around the tree. And I looked, trust me. Could it have been squirrels? Maybe. That'd be a whole lot of squirrels. There'd be a lot of fat squirrels running around eating that many peaches. And considering Daphne loves to chase squirrels, there's not a whole lot I see in my yard. But something got them. Every freaking peach. I was shocked when I went out there today. No peaches. Thank God we put some up. Okay, so I don't have to go pay $60, $80 a bushel to buy peaches. We've already got some put away. So I went and checked out the rest of my garden. Tomato patch. Okay, I've got 30 tomato plants growing. I tried a different type of tomato this year this was actually a hybrid, and I knew that. I wasn't planning on saving seeds. I bought seeds for the Hossinator from Hoss Tools. Okay, big beefsteak tomatoes. Great. Okay. Do I have tomatoes on the plants? Yeah, tomatoes grew to, I don't know, 6 feet high. Plants did, looking good. Decent amount of tomatoes on it. Look normal. Okay, nothing fabulous. Decent amount of tomatoes on there. I kid you not, 70% of the tomatoes I pulled off that plant, blossom end rot. Wasted tomatoes, ruined. Now, I know it's not my soil. My pH is right. My calcium is good. My watering has been good. You guys have heard me talk about keeping my plants with the adequate amount of moisture, watering every other day for an hour on them. No, I didn't have any problems with my plants growing. Some of the tomatoes came out great. I mean, they're softball size and perfect. 70% of them blossom end rot. Okay? Guess what? I won't be buying seeds from them anymore. Sorry. You want to send me a not cheap either, $3.99 for 10 seeds. Okay. No, sorry, you lost my business forever with that, period. But this is the thing. Other crops I've had turned out good. My cabbage was good this year. My beets were good this year. My potatoes, no, you guys know, I got about half my normal yield. That wasn't good. My beans are coming out okay. My peppers are above average. Let's put it this way. They're not great this year. They're coming out okay. Thank God I have food stored. This is what I've said to people over and over and over again. You're not just storing for 1 year. A lot of people think that's what you're doing. You're growing your garden to store to get you through the next growing season. Yeah, part of it is. I'll get enough tomatoes this year to eat fresh. I won't have any to store. Not at a 70% failure rate. Nope. Peppers, I found one so far that had blossom end rot. That's normal. I've harvested pounds and pounds of peppers already. My beans look great. But the point is, not every year is a success. How far are you with your storage? Because if you've got a year's worth of food, it's enough to get you through the next harvest season. What happens if next harvest season sucks? Like this one so far on some of my crops has. Yeah. What happens if there is no harvest season at all? What happens if they keep spraying aluminum oxide in the air? That's killing things. Can't tell me that I've got pollution problems where I am. If 10 cars go past my house a day, that's a lot. So it's not that. And God knows there's enough trees around here to soak up all the carbon dioxide that is produced by any of the cows that live in the area. No problem. You need to take a look at your storage. You need to add to it. We hear all the stories about bird flu. We hear all the stories about cows being culled, whatever, okay? Swine flu. They're doing whatever they can to get rid of pork and poultry and beef. And if you have a bad vegetable harvest or all your peaches disappear in a day, what are you going to eat? Well, you could always go to Kamala's grocery store and pay those inflated prices at $5 a pound for tomatoes or $6 a pound for peaches. Sure, if you want to do that. Keep looking for sales, guys. Put it away, package it, learn to can, learn to dehydrate, learn to salt, learn to smoke, learn to do whatever you can. Because I can only pray that we have a change of administration in 6 months. But I can't guarantee it. And if we continue on the path we are on, we're going to look like Cuba so fast, it isn't funny. You gone to McDonald's lately for lunch? I don't know. Gone to any restaurant for that matter. You know, when it costs you $20 for a hamburger, fries, and a pop, yeah, that's a problem. It's not a lot of people's budget. You got to eat at home. You got to eat. You got to put this stuff away until we can turn this country around. And it ain't going to be done by paying more taxes so we can equity the people who are too lazy to do anything in the first place. Have a good afternoon. I'll see you tonight. Pinball out.